Okay, example 4, it's actually easier in my opinion than example 2. It's another parabola graph. This time notice y is squared instead of x. Alright? I'm of the idea that I like my single letter to be by itself on the left, everything else on the right. So I prefer to write it as x equals y squared instead of y squared equals x. Now, when I'm graphing using a chart, I've got an independent variable and a dependent variable. Usually, x is independent, and its value determines what y's value is, so y is dependent. Okay? In a situation like this, I would make y independent. I'd pick my y values, and then I'd use the equation to figure out what x equals for each y value. And keep in mind, this is y squared, 1y squared, right? Let me put some different colors in here. 1y squared plus 0y plus 0. I mean, if we create a quadratic structure to it, because it is y squared, there's an understood 0y, there's an understood 0. If I wanted to figure out the magic y that would help me figure this out, it'd be y equals negative b over 2a again. Reason it's y equals instead of x equals is because it's y squared instead of x squared. Anytime you have a quadratic equation, some letter to the first power equals a quadratic equation. Whatever letter's in the quadratic equation equals negative b over 2a. In this case, that's going to be 0 over 1, right? Or 0 over 2 times 1. So it's 0 again. So the magic y value here is 0.
Where'd you get the
Okay, it's right there. Just part of the formula we use. It actually comes from the quadratic formula. The middle point is always halfway between the two zeros. And the two zeros are negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Those cancel. So if you add them up, you get negative 2 over a p over 2a, which is negative b over a. Right? That's the sum of these zeros. If we went halfway between, we have to average that, so we divide it by 2. So it came from that. But just know that that's where the middle always happens. Negative b over 2a every single time. So 0 is our magic y in this case, and we want to pick numbers near 0 that aren't fractions. So negative 2 all the way up to 2 works good. Now, if I was going to use my calculator for this, which I hope that you don't use your calculator for this, you square the numbers. 4, 1, 0, 1, 4. Okay? But if x is to the first and y is squared, your calculator only knows y equals everything else. Just go ahead and type it in as an x equation. Put your x's in, get your y's out. Just know they're going in the x column. Just swap them. All right? But again, y squared just means square y. So that would be positive 4, positive 1, 0, 1, 4. X equals y squared. We got our y's. We just square them to get x. And even though we picked y, we solved for x, when we plot on this graph, this is always the x-axis horizontal, the y-axis is always vertical. So when I go to plot these points, I'm still going to plot x first, y second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So even though I picked y and solved for x, I'm still going to plot x, y order like normal. And then I just connect those dots with a nice smooth curve, creating that parabola shape, turning to the right instead of turning up or down.